This person voluntarily left the plane because I guess she saw a ghost.
Off, and there's a reason why I'm getting the off, and everyone can either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't give. But I am telling you right now that back there is not real. And you can sit on this plane and you can die with them or not. I'm not going to.
Rumors about Spirit Airlines being a secret government experiment has been spreading for years. With the sudden shutdown, conspiracy theorists are coming out with bizarre stories about Spirit Airlines' connections to UFOs and soul harvesting. There's a possibility that the whole entire franchise was haunted. We're about to get into this news, but before we do, make sure you do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
The theories began before the airport officially opened in 1995.
When the airport was supposed to open, it was a little delayed and a little over budget, so people just started to come up with reasons why that might be. So people started to think, is the airport haunted?
There's been reports about people getting off of Spirit Airlines and having less brain cells than they had before they got on the plane.
Spirit gotta count their days with me, baby. I ain't even, baby, you can't even call the airline. Stuck in Houston. Crazy.
Then there's also bizarre cases about people that lost their jobs at Spirit Airlines only to realize that they had more brain cells than they previously had.
At its doors, they are no longer a company, which means they no longer have an HR department or a working phone number or an email. So upon reviewing my resume this morning, I realized that I was the director of marketing for the past 8 years, and I wanted to reach out to let you guys know that anybody who may have worked for me, I'm willing to write a letter of recommendation. They may want to confirm your employment, and I'm willing to be that reference as the director of marketing for the past 8 years. I know we're all just trying to find a new, better paying job that meets our high accolades given the shutdown of our company.
This is what brings us to the UFO conspiracies and the underground tunnels at many of major airports across America that the news keep on denying.
All right, let's get into the Illuminati and the underground tunnels and all that. No, there's such a. Do you know where it came from? This folklore of DIA is spooky and has underground tunnels and secrets and all this. Do you know where that originated?
It's so organic. I mean, it picks up over the years, right? Somebody says something, and you know how conspiracy theories are and all that. But and some, but I think that there are times when people probably believe some of this a little too much, right? Okay. But we have fun playing into it. You know what I mean? We have that gargoyle that looks over baggage claim.
I love it,
and it's great. And there are some interesting things about our airport, right? We have those tunnels underneath. Yep. We all know that the baggage is moved from between the terminal and the concourses. Yep. So it's like a whole city under there, complete amazing. With people are driving. So there's speed limits, crosswalks. You have to be careful. But yeah, no, there's a lot going on. We know our most famous piece of art, Mustang, sits there on Pena Boulevard, and he's got red glowing eyes, right? Does. So I mean, there's a lot that feeds into this.
There is.
Sure.
I think it's fascinating too, because sometimes being from here, I'd go off to college or something and tell people I'm from Denver area, and they'd be like, "Oh, your airport's haunted." I'm like, "What? Who came up with this?"
A lot of people believe that Spirit Airlines shut down because they weren't trying to get exposed by the general public. We live in the age of information. If people was to investigate the reason why they named this airline Spirit Airlines and the 6 sinister conspiracies that go behind that, they would have had multi-billion-dollar lawsuits.
I'm in Florida right now, and I flew Spirit to Miami yesterday, and I just woke up to the text message that Spirit has literally shut down. So now I have to figure out a way to get home. That's a really, really great email to wake up to. Sorry, your flight has been canceled, ultimately. Like, okay.
So y'all, we wake up this morning, and I get a text message that say, "You might not be able to fly Spirit back home." So I'm like, what happened? And my father had sent me a message. So I had woke my cousin up, and I'm like, my father just texted me and said we might not be going home on Spirit. So she was like, no, they ain't canceled the flights or nothing. And then she got on the app, and they for sure canceled our flight. So you mean to tell me We in Miami. We gotta live here. And all the flights, y'all, is high as we was looking. I'm like, but that's because they know what the they doing. That's because they know what they doing. And they knew, I felt like Spirit knew that they was gonna cancel, like they was gonna close today. They knew that on Friday.
Not only did Spirit Airlines affect regular people, they also affected people with special needs.
The people who have created this inconvenience for people like myself, they should ask God for forgiveness. This is terrible. They should be ashamed of themselves.
I'm upset. And then also it makes me nervous because I've already paid money to go on a cruise. We came here to the airport to try to get another ticket. American Airlines is like $1,300. And then I hear from Frontier that they're only helping customers until June 6th. Well, my flight is all the way until the 18th. I haven't even received my money back to even buy a new ticket. When you call, it just hangs straight up.
My flight back home was scheduled for 8:30 yesterday, and they first delayed it, and they told me my flight will be at 11:30 p.m. And then I was like, that's fine. But then I got another email saying it was canceled. And now I'm stuck in Florida.
I went to the kiosk and I typed in my information and they're like, oh yeah, your flight has been canceled. Find an agent. So I was looking for an agent. They were like, there's no agent. There's no customer service.
We're going to Columbus on flight 546. Your flight has now been canceled.
Fuck off. I'm done.
Currently stuck in the Orlando airport, trying to get home. I am shooting a wedding tomorrow, and I was at this conference, and the only flight that I could afford, to be honest, was a Spirit flight heading home. So we're supposed to leave at 5 o'clock. I get to the airport on time, and then I check the news, and Spirit announced that they are shutting down tomorrow. And so we have 3 delays, and all of a sudden the flight gets totally canceled. And now we have 175 Ohioans really pissed, so.
International Airport. Can we get a refund? And I need to go to Columbia.
This is the line because Spirit just canceled hundreds of people's flights because they just found out they were going out of business and didn't tell their own employees. And they said no refunds, no hotels, tough luck, and they're rebooking you on flights for tomorrow that will not take place because the company will not exist tomorrow. And this is the chaos that is left over. Yeah, that's how long the line goes. You can't even see the end. Oh my.
It's Camille Carter. Today I'm going through one of the hardest moments of my life. After 4 years of being a flight attendant, I unexpectedly lost my job. I'm a wife, a mother of 8 beautiful children. So this isn't just about me. It's about keeping my family stable and building something better for our future.
So Spirit Airlines is gone. That is so surreal to say. I worked there. I'm the former brand manager at Spirit, which means I was the person whose literal job it was to make you fall in love with us. And honestly, I think we were making some real progress. But here's the thing though, working in travel wasn't just a job for me. It was a literal dream that I checked off of my list. I grew up obsessed with travel. Not only the destinations and the experiences, but the way that a trip can completely change how you see the world. So getting to build a brand that gave millions of people access to that feeling, that was everything. Spirit wasn't just my employer. Those were my people. Now, doing brand marketing while your company is going through a corporate crisis, that is a masterclass in staying creative under pressure. Nobody teaches you that in business school. I lived it, and somehow through it all, I never stopped loving what I do. We were a small but mighty team, and we never stopped reaching for greatness up until the last day. So here's where I land. I'm a brand marketer with a deep love for travel and the experience of keeping a fearless brand moving forward when conditions are not exactly ideal. I know how to find opportunity in the chaos and how to make people fall in love with the brand, even some of the really challenging ones. The dream does not end here, and if anything, it's just getting started. So if you are a leader in travel, aviation, or hospitality and are open to hiring, mentoring, or just having a conversation, my DMs are open and my schedule is open.
This is one of the saddest situations in American history, and I advise everybody out there, have some sympathy and compassion for the people that lost their jobs at Spirit Airlines and also the people out there stuck and stranded with nowhere to go. Because if they would have gotten on that plane, if Spirit Airlines was still in business, they probably would have left with no soul. If these rumors and allegations are true, conspiracy theorists are talking. Spirit Airlines has been accused of soul harvesting and a bunch of other accusations, but still, we should all have some compassion for the workers.
Have some compassion. Do you even know the impact that this is going to have on the community here in Broward County especially? I feel like people don't understand the job loss and the uncertainty now for the entire team that worked under Spirit. The airline employed thousands of people here in South Florida. Heck, the new campus and headquarters in Broward has office space to up to 1,000 people that it can fit. And also they have apartments here that house up to 400 employees. Honestly, shame on you if you're celebrating this. They're one of Broward County's largest employers, and they moved to Broward back in 1999. That is how long they've been in this area for. And side note, how is this going to impact Dania Point now? Don't even get me started on how this will affect the airport. I went to Terminal 4 today and people were telling me that some employees showed up without hearing the news and they just left. Spirit is iconically known as the largest carrier here at the airport. They have around a 25% market share. I think the impact is going to be huge here. Many of us here have only been able to see family out of the country because of how affordable Spirit has been. And this next part is speculation. I'm no economist, but if a low-cost budget airline like Spirit goes out of business and it was generally a competitor that was keeping prices low, doesn't that mean the prices of airfare for other airlines is going to increase? And my bad if I sound a bit aggravated right now, but like this hits very close to home. People have spent their entire careers working for Spirit Airlines, and they have contributed so much to the local economy here in Broward County. And now it's uncertain how they move forward and what's the long-term impact this will have on our community. And yeah, that's my rant. It just makes me angry when people try to celebrate this like it doesn't affect,
This is for everybody that was involved in the Spirit freaking airline stuff, because I have had the day from hell, in case you guys were wondering. So I get off of my cruise ship in Miami at like 7:30 this morning, and I find out that Spirit Airlines doesn't exist. It disappeared. Flights canceled, said do not go to airport, do not call customer service, we cannot help you. Said that we would get a refund, didn't get a refund. And mind you, I have a 2-year-old with me, and so I would have had to buy 2 new flights without getting my refund. So we're sitting at the Fort Lauderdale airport, and every single flight is like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And mind you, I just went on a cruise, like I just went on vacation, I spent a bunch of money. And so freaking out, all the flights, nothing is working, like terrible. And so thank God I have family members that were able to help me so I could fly, but I had to take an Uber from from Miami to Fort Lauderdale, and then from Fort Lauderdale we flew from there to Cleveland, Ohio, and then from Cleveland I had to jump there again to get to Chicago. So I got off of the cruise ship at, again, like 7:30 this morning. It is about 7 p.m. and I just arrived at my home airport. So, screw you, Spirit.
Imagine being on a cruise ship, you wake up on your last day, and Spirit, your flight is canceled. You just was on vacation. This is crazy. Like, I don't even know how to feel, what to think. Like, Spirit, y'all did your big one. Why would y'all wait to cancel everybody's flights last minute? Well, the whole thing.
Whatever I said about the UFOs and aliens and spirit harvesting when it comes to Spirit Airlines, I don't believe none of that stuff, and I would advise you guys not to believe it neither. But I took it upon myself to let you know that there's rumors circulating out here online about Spirit Airlines. I'm hoping that these rumors aren't true.